Well, welcome to Skin Talk.
Welcome.
A new season.
I know, I'm so excited.
A lot of great stuff.
Yes, particularly on today's episode. I'm extremely excited. We have Karen Boyd here from Mix 93.1. Brand new. They've been on the air with, she's been on the air with Chris Zito for a little bit over a year. So she's going to be here to talk about some exciting stuff.
See, we're making it in the world. we got some really great guests on the show, and I'm just so excited. We have so much to talk about. We're going to talk about what really is UVA, UVB, and UVC. I know a lot of you out there want to know, because I get it questioned all the time. Like, what really is it, and what does it mean?
Who really knows?
Yeah, well, we have some answers for you.
And we're going to talk about the tanning legislation that's happening in Massachusetts right now. 5th year going to the House at this point, so got some exciting stuff that we're going to talk about there as well.
So don't change your channel. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Skin Talk.
So tell us, I'm anxious to hear.
Yeah,
for the past how many years have you been doing this fight with getting the tanning bed law that you have to be 18 years and older in order to enter into a tanning bed?
Well, this, if it makes it to the House.
How could we help?
Well, and how is it not common sense? That's my question that I always ask. No, I went down to the State House in Boston to testify on behalf of the Melanoma Foundation, which is trying to get
like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to get this pushed through. If it makes it to the House, this is actually going to be the 5th year that it's gone to the House but hasn't passed.
Now, could we, like, why is it that they're not passing it? I don't understand.
It's all about small business and financial issues and all of that, and it's just...
So I'm not trying to push anybody under the bus here, but are they caring more about the small businesses?
Yes.
Rather than our children's lives and safety?
Well, what they're not equating, the problem is when I went down there and, you know, they line you up. It's almost like a firing squad. You have to line up and talk to all these people.
Like you go into the Department of Motor Vehicle? Okay, this section over here.
Only a little bit more intimidating.
Oh,
but you go in and, you know, I was talking to them about how the World Health Organization has declared this as a known carcinogen. It's just as carcinogenic, and which means cancer-causing, as cigarettes. So if we think about cigarettes and
but yet they have to be 18-year-old and 18 years old.
Right, they're restricted at an 8 year. You have to be an adult in order to smoke. So that's what we are trying to accomplish with the tanning legislation. It's just as carcinogenic as cigarettes. So why is it not being regulated as such? So I think the opposition, it was really actually kind of funny, because when we went to testify, I really didn't anticipate there was going to be someone else testifying on the opposite end, and they actually got up first. No, it was the former Indoor Tanning Association, along with tanning bed orders. It takes some gall to. Yep, they're sitting up, but they went first.
Let me say that they owned a tanning salon or something like that.
There was
and it was only like one person.
There was one tanning salon owner and then a representative from the former Indoor Tanning Association. So they went and did their whole spiel, and they threw out all these just completely inaccurate facts. It was incredible.
Oh, this is great for you. Like what? Oh, the ultraviolet rays are going to give you vitamin D.
Right. Well, their argument actually was it's not necessarily great for you, but it's not going to harm you. That was their argument. So I don't know how you go against.
Okay, no, it's not going to harm you, but. Meaning you.
Right.
Oh, I've only had how many scars taken from melanoma?
Exactly.
Oh, my, I'm so glad I didn't go with you, because again, the Italian in me would have come out so bad.
I probably would have gotten a little more agitated if I hadn't been there for 4 hours, and I was kind of just, by the time I got up there, I'm like, all right, I'm over this. I just want to say my piece and head out.
So what happened? So then you got to speak.
I got to speak, and they asked some questions.
Were you able to like rebuttal against what was being said?
We did address. It wasn't just me testifying. There were some other people who were testifying, dermatologists.
Did these people stay?
And yeah, they sat up there with me. We all sat together, almost at a table like this. And but we won't know now for a little while if it's gonna. If there's like 3 or 4 levels that it has to go through, and this was just step 1.
Yeah, maybe.
So,
but this was step 1, 5 years running.
Right, but there are other states now that have set precedent for this. So there's other states, New Jersey, Rhode Island. They've all created laws that are similar to this. So we're hoping that other states are starting to do it, so let's go.
Senates and some other people.
Oh yeah, Senator Timilty is the one who's supporting, he's sponsoring the bill. So we do have support, it's just, it's a sign of the times.
Well,
this won't be an issue in 10 years.
How could we help? like make this more
Yes.
prominent and more the importance of, okay, there's going to be these tanning bed owners and all these other, but there's so much more of us than there is of that.
I think the best way to get involved is to email us at info@skintalk.org and send us testimonials. That's really key. You can get all of our contact information at skintalk.org.
Almost like a petition. That's sign up on our petition.
Because what they're doing is they're also accepting written testimonial.
Really?
So even if you can't be there, you can fill out information and submit it.
Perfect. So please, yes, anybody who wants to help us with this law and get it passed and help Megan with this personal fight that she's been doing for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
Yes, send us any information. And that reminds me of something, because I'm always like, going on the internet. Who doesn't? You look, I'm looking for
expanding your knowledge.
A little slippy slide for my kids. I'm like, oh, well, let me see. Someone comes across these little ads about melanoma.
You actually click on the ads, you would.
I know.
I mean,
you're
just like perfect targeted advertising.
Well,
there.
it depends on what's on the ad. Sometimes it's, a guy.
Sometimes it's interesting.
Yeah, sometimes it looks really good, or it's a nice pair of shoes.
Yeah.
But anyway, besides that, I came across an article that was Skin Cancer Education to Change Melanoma Stats. And it was this doctor, a chiropractor, and a registered massage therapist, had done the study. It was like a chiropractic school.
Really?
And he had done the study, and he felt that chiropractic and massage therapy was his personal aim to go and to teach people about melanoma, because they're most on people's skin. And we've had massage therapists on the show. We should have a chiropractor. Any chiropractors out there? Hey.
Yeah, email us.
But anybody who's really one-on-one with people's skin.
Oh my gosh, they're up in the skin all the time.
Exactly.
So it's perfect.
So his whole personal drive, like you have your personal drive, with getting this law passed, and I have this personal drive, doing the educational aspect. He wanted to get to certain. My whole thing was I wanted to get into hair salons. So he's targeting the chiropractors and the massage therapists. But he says that I realized that if I could educate, like the chiropractors and the massage therapists about the signs of skin cancer, that we would have thousands of professionals helping to diagnose skin cancer earlier.
There is an organization out there that exists that does the massage therapists, and so, where was this gentleman located? Did it say in the article?
I think it was Ohio. No, I'm sorry, Toronto, Ontario.
Oh.
Toronto, Ontario. And it says, I'm always impressed by the power that one person has to impact on a community.
That's
on a
great.
School, on a profession. So it really, I truly, you know me, I'm a sole believer in, like the things that I do, the things that you do. You have people coming up, great job, and I'm always like, I may have started it with the voice. Right. I may be the voice, but I didn't do this on my own.
Right.
It was my team. So, of course, Anna Villano.
Yes, our operations manager for Skin Talk. She's fantastic.
So without her, we wouldn't be the success that we've been able to be.
Right.
Without viewers like yourself and the emails that we've been getting from all over California, Ohio, Toronto.
And without our fantastic fashion team at It's All About Me. We always need to mention that. They dress us for every show. So it's people like that who are willing to support us that really...
If you like how we look, it's not because of us.
That's not, actually, I'm not saying It's All About Me. Like, that's the name of the store.
Yeah, it is. The store is called It's All About Me in Hamden, Massachusetts. You got to check it out and go online.
Yeah, definitely.
And search them out because they are absolutely wonderful. So again, it's that team that creates the positive actions. So I love hearing stuff like that because other people do believe that.
Right.
That it takes one voice, but you do, you build that army, like you had said. So
now you had wanted to talk about some technical stuff because I think there's a misconception or maybe a misunderstanding about UVA, UVB,
and UVC
rays. So what did you find on those?
Well,
I do have a quick little cute tip after you go. So
you'll have to share that.
It will help people remember.
Well, as you know, we both always, go out speaking, and I speak in the schools, you speak in the colleges, and we just go out to different places, and everybody's always like, well, what is UVA, and what is UVB? And
I actually have a funny story. Someone asked me one time when I was on a talk show, he asked me, what's the difference? And I had no idea. I forgot to tell him, don't ask me the difference between these two.
Goodness.
This was years ago.
Well, you see, and
I kind of blanked. It was live. It was embarrassing.
Oh, goodness.
So now I'll never forget.
We got to get the papers of that, Anna.
Exactly.
But it is. I mean, a lot of people are like, well, what's the difference of it? And It can get very technical. Like I could go into, and I always like to make sure I have the proper information because I don't want to be like, oh, you said blah blah blah. People
Right.
done that, and I'm like, ow, don't shoot the messenger.
It is being filmed.
And I just Google it. So, but the ultraviolet UVA is ultraviolet A, and then so on, ultraviolet B and ultraviolet C. Okay, nothing
it
really
right
too
up.
technical. But what it is, it's the radiation with wavelengths between, now all you scientists and engineers out there, 320 and 400 nm, comprising over 99% of such radiation that reaches
we need glasses
the surface of the Earth. So it's all a matter of the distance
Right.
of where the radiation and the UVA
Right.
or the UVB or the UVC reaches the Earth. So obviously further away,
Right.
if you're 320 and 400, you're real close to the Earth, and that's UVA.
Right.
But if you're at UVC, it doesn't even touch the Earth's surface, and those wavelengths are between 200 and 290.
Which, okay, so
it's a
that
difference
gets
between
absorbed.
290 and 400.
Right.
And so all of this type of radiation is filtered out by the ozone layer, which we don't really have too much of an ozone layer
Which is
anymore.
another, yes.
That's
an
a whole
issue.
other issue. But none of that reaches the Earth's surface.
On the
so
UVC.
the ultraviolet C is the best ray, but because it doesn't touch
there
the
is
Earth,
such a thing as the
because it
best
doesn't
ray.
touch the Earth. So that's sort of what the difference between UVA and UVB.
And to give you a little, this is how I always remember it, UVA and UVB. So UVA stands for aging. It's the aging rays.
Yeah, because that's the one that's
penetrate
closest
deeper
to the Earth.
And they penetrate deeper into the skin. And then UVB is burning. That's the ray that makes you burn. So the
Really?
aging is the one that penetrates the skin deeper because it actually goes in and causes premature wrinkling.
So then
that's
it's
how you
the
can
UVB
remember.
that's the worst.
It's much easier
Sorry.
than whatever she's talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Because the UVB is 290 and 320. And the UVA is 320 and 400. So the UVA
So
is
much
bad,
better
but
now.
the UVB is worse. Yeah, that's a good way to think. So A is
Aging.
aging. Well, I don't want
B
that.
is burning. You don't want either
So
one.
let me see. Do I want age or do I want burn?
You don't want
Yeah,
either one.
neither.
You want C. None.
Exactly. And yet it says UVA not absorbent by the ozone layer.
Right.
UVB mostly absorbed by the ozone layer, but some does reach the Earth's surface.
Mm-hmm.
And UVC is completely absorbed by the ozone layer and oxygen.
Great.
So hopefully that helped you
That
and you're
was
not
your
all
smarty
twisted
pants
and
tip.
confused.
Smarty pants tip of the day there. But coming up, really excited, we have Karen Boyd from Mix 93.1. She's going to be on talking with us about her skin regimen and why she's so into melanoma awareness. So don't go away.
Yeah, and I want
We
to hear
will-
some Hollywood gossip.
And some
too.
Hollywood gossip. Yeah, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Well, welcome back. And thank you so much, Karen, for being with us today.
You're very welcome.
From Mix 93.1.
Yes.
How awesome is that? Now, I know you guys have been friends for a while, and it's sort of a funny story, so you have to share.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I stalked her a little bit.
I would.
Maybe a little bit. Just a little bit. No, I actually work with the station. I've worked with the station for years, and when you folks came on the air, I just thought you guys were so great. I reached out right away. I thought Karen would be a good advocate for skin cancer in some capacity.
Well, you have great skin.
Oh, thank you.
So somebody with really good skin is definitely the best advocate, and also has a belief and a feel for it.
Well, and they also always say radio, right, is I have a face for radio, but you actually have a face for TV.
Thank you. Thank you.
What is your skincare regimen? Like, what do you do to keep up? Because you're always in a lot of pictures on social
I
media.
am, and you know,
all over.
I think what's interesting about it is that I start from the inside out. So I eat healthy, I eat organic. I get in trouble for that all the time because everybody's like, I can't believe you just shop, organically.
No,
but
they say it's worth it.
It is very much worth
and
it.
it's becoming more and more, of a
Easily accessible.
Yeah, because now everywhere you go there's gluten-free. And so more and more people are realizing that the way that we have been eating isn't the best. So all those times that people are making fun or saying all these things, now they're
You're
going,
ahead of the curve.
Yeah, they're
It's
in the back, they're grabbing their gluten-free and they're grabbing their vegetables.
Yeah,
They're just
exactly.
they're just not up with it right
And
now.
that's the thing is, and I don't deny myself anything either. Like, I'm a chocoholic. I will eat my chocolate.
Love it.
I go out on the weekends. I love
for you.
wine. I
Good for
mean, those are the things that I love to do. So I'm not going to stop doing that. But
But there's also the balance.
there is a lot of balance,
Yeah.
and that's the other piece to it is that stress will also cause
God.
all kinds of issues with your skin.
Do you do anything to de-stress?
I do. I do yoga. I was a
Nice.
yoga. Well, I was and am a yoga instructor, so I really incorporate that into my life. I do a lot
Why
of
didn't you tell us? We would have done a
meditation.
demonstration.
Oh, see? Well, I can come back and
Show
do
us
it.
some moves. Definitely. You're always welcome
yeah.
back.
Get on the dress.
Exactly. But so I do lead a fairly healthy lifestyle that way. And as far as my skincare, I've been moving really slow. Well, not really slowly, but as quickly as I can towards more organic products.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Question, because I'm same way. I try to eat healthy, but the same thing. I run, I do triathletes, and I try to eat healthy. I don't know what I really do to de-stress because I have 3 kids under 8 and, and I do the show and
no
I
such thing as
work
de-stress.
and we
Yeah.
speak. So
Right.
yeah, the distressing part I'm working on. But I like
do.
running.
Running
But
is
when I do, like I love salads and I love just grilled vegetables, and as a snack I'll have like just unsalted peanuts and raisins,
Yep.
and that kind of thing. But I'll also treat myself to that. And I do tend to go for more of the organic stuff. And then I'll have the friends too where it's like, what's the difference? They just put organic on there just so you buy
No,
it.
it's
So
a
what would be
process.
can you just briefly explain to people out there, like really what is the difference between organic? Because it's like, oh, it's more expensive. So
Well, in order for things to be organic, it has to go through a whole process of being stamped. So they have to show that there are no pesticides, that there are no hormones, that nothing is being treated in a way that involves chemicals or a chemical process.
because those chemicals could
cause all
enhance and
sorts of
over time
problems.
Oh, it does.
enhance things with our skin and could cause
Right.
other issues to happen. People's hair falling out,
Yeah.
I've heard.
Yes.
All kinds of allergic reactions.
Oh, absolutely. And I tell people, if you can't go the full organic, just do like the dirty dozen.
Because a lot of people when they're
what are
pregnant,
The Dirty Dozen.
I don't know off the top of my head. I can
What are
tell
some
you
of the
that
highlights?
I can tell you the number one most dirty is celery. And
Really?
celery, yes, dirty,
And
nasty.
carrots,
you don't
I've
want
heard the bleach that comes through, right?
There's some
Mixed.
some
For the baby
mixed
carrots.
stuff about the baby carrots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
people are talking about bleach, and
Yeah,
that really
I
has
heard
been
that.
a myth. Kind of one of
Okay.
those.
See,
What
I'm
do they
glad
call
we
them?
could debunk
An urban
myths
myth.
here.
The other one is strawberries.
Yes, I've heard those
Oh
are
my God,
really, really
it's
bad
awful
if you
what
don't
they do to
organic.
strawberries. You try to get grapes as well, red
so at
grapes.
least on those, saying the
At
dirty
least
dozens
the dirty
of
dozen.
those,
Okay.
get those
Start
organic.
there, yes,
Really?
and your milk.
Oh my goodness, and I just got
yes.
celery and I
Yes.
just got strawberries and then one again.
Yeah, because no matter how much
like,
you
roll
them out.
scrub
Call the
it,
kids, don't eat the strawberries.
yes,
in
don't. As much as you scrub that stuff, it's still going to be in there. And then, your skin's your biggest organ, so it's going to ingest and it's going to hold all of those chemicals.
See, and that's a good thing that you brought that out because a lot of people don't realize, like,
Largest organ in the body.
Sun has a lot to do with melanoma, what we all talked about.
Right.
Genetic, the UVB,
Right.
UVC, all these things that we talk about. But what people don't realize is like what you had just said. Start with
Internal.
internally
Right.
what you're taking in and the stress. So if we're eating healthier, that's building our immune system to be stronger, to fight off of things that we don't have control over,
Right.
like certain cancers.
Right.
If we are de-stressing, whatever it is, whether, you know, I like taking photography, or I'll run,
Right.
or, you know, you do your things and shopping.
I do
and,
run. She doesn't want to mention it.
No.
I run too.
She does, actually.
I run small amounts.
In short spurts.
I like to say I have
I'm a
take some credit for
runner.
that.
Mile and a half max.
Oh, okay.
But hey,
Now,
it's okay.
you've been so supportive of just melanoma awareness in general. Where did that come from? Just
Well, I
overall
think,
health advocate?
yeah, I mean, I'm big on supporting causes that I believe in, and cancer has been something that has impacted my family significantly. My mom is a twice survivor of breast cancer, but my family as a whole has a lot of basal cell, or you know, all of the little, you know, dots and things that
freckles and
pop
spots
up, and so once that started happening, and I was watching them like every other week, somebody else was having something removed, and there's stitches and this, and I'm like, I can't do this. This is crazy. So I stopped going in the sun. I started wearing sunscreen religiously. I started taking care of myself a little bit better, and that started a lot sooner than I probably, well, a lot later than it should have.
Right.
I remember the days of laying in the sun with the Crisco on and wanting to be dark, dark, dark.
Who
and-
didn't?
Right. Well,
Who didn't?
your skin obviously looks fantastic.
And
Thank
yet,
you.
because of what you're doing, and because of at some point it clicked, some people, because of the advocacy work that we do and the educational work we do in the schools and stuff, they're getting it at 18, 19, 20.
Right.
I didn't get it until, you know, I didn't realize it until I was almost 30.
Right.
Like, oh, wait a minute, I got to make this change. And whatever it is, you make that change, you stop. And then I just slowly saw the change in my
changes.
skin.
Yeah.
And that's why you have great skin, because you're eating well, because you're exercising,
protecting.
because you're de-stressing, because you're protecting,
Right.
and you know, you're doing the right. And a lot of people feel like, oh, that's too much work. Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. But again, it's just
So worth
what you
it.
had said. Just take a little step. Just
Just the baby steps, because honestly,
Take
look
one
at
thing
what
at
the
a time.
result could be. I mean,
Right.
you have these choices to make smaller steps, or what's the flip side? I'm not necessarily one to, you know, want to have my life end in a way where I know I could have had some kind of prevention.
And that's like, and everything, like, you know, talking, you know, I'm sure you're familiar with you talk with the Hollywoods, you know,
Yes.
scene all the
Absolutely.
time.
Yes.
But Angelina Jolie, I
Right.
mean, that's
Oh.
the latest buzz right
Yes.
now.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she did a preventative, you know.
Yes, she did.
But what happened was with her is that her aunt died of it. Her
was
mother
very
died of it.
predisposed.
It was,
So
she was.
she
Yeah,
was like,
she had
and
the
that-
gene.
Yep.
Yep.
And the sad thing is, I got a phone call today that a huge supporter to us, her husband died of melanoma, and that's why she's such a huge supporter to us.
Wow.
She was just diagnosed. Her husband had died of it a year ago. Spencer, Pam Spencer. She was diagnosed with melanoma. I got the phone call today.
no.
Oh,
So now her children are 100%
so much more likely
Oh,
to
yeah.
get
to
it.
get it,
Yeah,
which is sad.
absolutely.
So it's
Yes.
like, but again, now their children have the chance to do this, eating right, doing some type of
Exactly.
de-stressing, exercising.
the right choices.
People
Yeah.
don't realize that is just a huge,
Yeah.
huge help.
And it's about changing your attitude about the fact that you're not restricting yourself, you're not doing these things to prevent
Everything in
yourself from having fun times.
No. Right.
It's about a lifestyle change and incorporating it into how you live your life.
And if you do it little by little, it'll you know,
Absolutely.
get better.
Now, you're
Little
speaking
steps.
of lifestyle change, tell us a little bit about the celebrity gossip, the latest on skin stuff. You saw a little bit
well,
in here.
well, it was just, you know,
I
when
saw
I
an
see
article
stuff
about
like
it.
this, yeah, and I'm like, oh, I gotta talk to Karen about this, where it's nothing huge, but, you know, Anne Hathaway, who was it? Oh,
Angelina?
Angelina Jolie, and there's a list of them, that they have such nice skin. Now, they're not tan, they're not pale, they just have like a nice
healthy
glow. And, you know, it's stating here that celebs have an approved self-tanning.
List.
Like, yeah, where they will
Anne's
not
picks.
do, you know, outside tanning,
Right.
you know, in the sun, and they will not do a tanning bed.
Have you heard
They
anything
will
about
use, you know, tanners, which I think is amazing, and they all have beautiful skin.
Yes, we have to remember that in Hollywood, it's all about your age, and you're talking about women who are going, you're looking at over 30, so the roles start to disappear. So if you can continue to look younger longer,
awful.
you're gonna, it is
I know.
horrible. It is an awful, awful, you know, the guys
The
out there,
pressure.
you know, they can be 100 and it doesn't matter.
Still
I
acting.
know.
Exactly, and you have, you know, George Clooney, who's fantastic, but still,
Right.
older getting roles continuously. Yeah, and women don't. So what they do is they make sure to do things that they know will age them. Like you were talking about earlier, they stay out of the sun, they stay out of tanning beds, they will have, you know, that they get the self-tanners, professionals. Oh, they never do it themselves. You will never. People like, and we were talking earlier, you know, people like Snooki and all those people, they will do it themselves.
And you can tell.
And then they're orange, and they're on the red carpet looking orange and orange.
Orange is out.
Yes, orange is out, people. Don't do orange.
I don't think it was ever in, actually.
It looks good in this sense.
Yeah,
it looks good in your hair, not on your skin.
Not on your skin.
Exactly.
So that's what they'll do. They'll get a professional self-tan and head to toe, so that, you know, everything is seamless and it's just so. And then they have certain products that they use to make themselves shine and glow appropriately in the right places.
Some are even embracing just the natural skin tone too. They're not even doing the sunless tan thing. I read an article recently about the latest trend of just embracing, like Carly Rae Jepsen. She's very fair, and she was out and, you know, didn't have any type of bronzer or anything like that on, and people were making comments, and she's like, hey, this is my skin, it's beautiful the way it is.
And that we need more advocates about that. And it's sad because people do look, and even with myself, same to a minute. But you know, you like to oh, okay, what's up, what's this? But people do look at that.
Right.
So, and when we speak, I'm like, well, look at these people. Whether it be, you know, the younger ones, Katy Perry's, to the older ones, like, you know,
or people like that, or
Kate Hudson. You know, the age difference is huge, but yet they still look good. There's so many that really have palish, whitish, glowy skin. You don't see people out there with tan and, you know, kind of thing. So is there any little Hollywood gossip that you could share?
There's a lot going on. Kim Kardashian just had her baby.
She did have
She had a little girl 5 weeks early.
Really?
Early Saturday morning, Kanye was there.
I wonder if she got a C-section.
Yes, she did not. It was natural childbirth.
Because a lot of them go for that because it's...
The baby was less than 5 pounds, so she is healthy, and both mother and baby are doing fine. Kanye was all upset because his album got released a little bit earlier than anticipated online. Somebody found it and released it, so he was a little upset.
All right, well, he needs to focus. He's a dad.
That's a big deal.
But the question will be whether or not they actually stay together. So.
Really?
Oh, my goodness.
I've heard about that.
Inside scoop.
The big
See, we have the inside scoop here on Skin Talk. Thank you so much for being here.
You are very welcome.
Gift for you.
Oh, thank you. You did not have to do that.
No, enjoy your Skin Talk mug.
That's great. I can put my coffee in it every morning since I'm up so early.
I know you get up very early.
What time do you have to get up and out?
I'm up at 3, and I'm in the office usually between 4 and 4:15.
That's early.
So you see, and you don't, sounds like, you know, you have a long regimen and it takes you an hour or so to get ready, and you look this amazing.
No, it's very quick. I actually use organic baby wipes.
Nice.
Really? Okay, organic.
People loves that.
People
That is-
organic. The way you thought about organic before, I was a little, you know, rough around the edges about it, but now after listening to you, I'm
Karen says.
organic. Yes, Karen said it, so that's it.
Well, again, thank you for being here.
You're very welcome.
So much. So stay tuned. We have my tip of the week coming up next. Skin Talk is back and better than ever.
New season, new guest, a new change in how you look at your skin.
Watch us and be skin safe with Skin Talk.
Visit us at skintalk.org.
Dear 16-year-old me.
Dear 16-year-old me.
Dear 16-year-old me.
Please don't get that perm. It's not as awesome as you think it's going to be.
You have to actually practice in order to learn to play guitar.
Whiskey tastes even worse on the way up.
Dear 16-year-old me, there's going to be a new set of Star Wars movies. Don't watch them. They ruin everything.
Dear 16-year-old me. This is where they took the cancer out. It was something called melanoma.
It's called malignant melanoma.
Malignant melanoma.
Malignant. That's not a very friendly word.
You'll be diagnosed when you're 28.
18.
36.
29.
22.
It's a tumor that starts in your skin cells, the cells that give your hair and skin color.
It's not just skin cancer.
Well, it is,
Well, it is.
but not just the...
Cut it out and it'll be fine kind, unfortunately.
It's the kind that you have to catch before it spreads.
Because it spreads so fast.
So fast.
To places like your liver, your lungs, your brain.
Yours will be a really rare kind in your left eye, and that's when you'll find out.
That melanoma can show up on your tongue, the palms of your hands, and the soles of your feet.
Your doctors will tell you you're lucky that you caught it early.
Yours will tell you that you need aggressive treatment.
I'll have to tell you it might take a year of chemotherapy.
And you'll need to do some of the injections yourself.
Dear 16-year-old me,
You're doing okay.
you're strong.
But there are some things I want you to know.
I wish I'd known.
That one bad sunburn before you turn 18
Doubles your chances of developing melanoma.
That fair skin and red hair means that you're at a higher risk of getting it.
As if ginger people didn't have enough problems.
That you're at higher risk if you've got more than 50 moles.
And if you have a weakened immune system or a family history of skin cancer.
I want you to know the outlook is very good if we can catch it early.
But you have less than a 10% chance of surviving more than 5 years if we don't.
Dear 16-year-old me,
Spend more time with family. They mean everything.
If I had one piece of advice for you, don't start the tanning bed. I know you want a healthy glow, but it's going to double my chances of getting melanoma.
Sunscreen.
Yes, I agree. It's a huge pain in the ass, but so worth it. Please.
Your skin's like an elephant. It never forgets.
Dear 16-year-old me, helping spread this message is how you'll honor Glenna's memory. At 16, she's already an incredible lifeguard. She loves the sun and the beach and tanning, but she just doesn't know.
She'll be diagnosed when she's 22 and will lose her battle when she's just 26.
I want you to know, because it's melanoma that's going to take the strongest man you know, your best friend, and the love of your life.
Dear 16-year-old me,
Don't be afraid. This isn't about being afraid.
I want you to be aware
That melanoma is a young person's disease.
It is the second most common cancer in children and teenagers, and one of the most common in young adults.
And it can be deadly.
I want you to know you're not helpless.
This is a cancer that shows itself
right there on the outside of you.
start checking your skin.
Please check.
Get to know your skin.
Get to know your skin.
Start checking your skin.
If a new mole shows up,
Or if when you have, starts to change color,
Or size, or shape.
or feels different.
If something seems out of place, get your doctor to have a look as soon as possible.
Know what to look for and get help. These are all signs your skin could be developing cancer.
You brush your teeth every day, maybe even floss.
Okay, we both know you don't floss.
But just once a month, I want you to check.
It takes 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Dear 16-year-old me, I do realize you're not actually going to see this, but someone else will, and it'll make a difference to them.
Dear someone else.
Dear somebody else.
If you're watching this,
send it to a 16-year-old you care about.
Send it to anyone who was once 16.
Or soon will be 16. Send this.
And check yourself. Educate yourself.
You can download tools and information about melanoma here.
Share this link.
Tweet this link.
Post this to your Facebook.
Welcome back. We just had Karen Boyd from Mix 93.1 here on the show. She was great.
Yes, absolutely. Loved her
her.
energy, so bubbly,
Yes.
and she's just so smooth talking.
Yep.
Not like me, who like fumbles all the time. And it was
She
really
does
nice.
do it for a living, okay?
I know.
She is a trained professional. No, she was
But,
great. She gave us
she
some
really
good
was.
tips.
It was nice hearing the little
celebrity
Hollywood
stuff.
gossip stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's always fun.
So we have emails.
Yes.
Let's hear them, which we love. Keep them coming.
Yes, please.
info@skintalk.org. Please keep your emails coming.
Well, this one is from a
This
woman
one was a
named
little
Sally.
upset, right?
Yeah, this one was a little, but
In a justified, she's
Yeah.
justified.
well,
right.
I like some of the comments too. She says that she's just watched our show, the last show, for about 10 minutes, and her question is, what's being done? And it's all in big bold
Caps, cap locks. This
cap
is
letters,
serious.
yeah. What is being done to inform family physicians how to detect melanoma?
That is a great question.
And my thing is that don't go to a family physician if you have something on your skin. You go to a dermatologist. I wouldn't have a plumber come and fix my light.
Right, yeah, that's
But
the thing that people don't
a lot
understand.
of people feel comfortable with their
Yeah.
family physician. I'm not putting down the physicians or anything like that. But I almost feel like if you have something on your skin, definitely go to a dermatologist.
It's a
If you have
specialist.
something,
Think about it
but
like a
people don't think
dentist,
about that.
like,
Right, and that's what we want to have people start thinking. Thinking more like if you have something on your skin. And a lot of times people will just happen to call the family physician, or they have an appointment and be like, oh, hey, why I'm here? Can you just check this? I had a concern. I get that. I understand.
It's easier, but it's not necessarily always the best way to go.
Exactly.
And I have to tell you, I've had so many stories about this, about even my own story. My family physician, my nurse practitioner told me, your spot looks fine, your mole looks fine.
Right, and this is what they said, that they, not to interrupt you, but they had said that she was so upset because she lost a family member to melanoma, and she went to the doctor, and the doctor's only human, you know, and that's what we keep on saying, everybody's imperfect, and she's like upset at the fact that that's not the answer. We can't just say that they're only human. You know, well, we demand they do a little bit more than that. In this day and age when insurance has tied our hands and our money tight, I'm sure a lot of you are sympathizing with this. Right. A lot of people are going to second options, you know, but they don't have a choice to have a second option because of the money. She said she had a friend of hers, I thought it was a family member, but it was a friend of hers died of melanoma, and it spread to her brain, and that when she went to the doctor, she said, the doctor said it was a bug bite.
You know what the thing is? Oh my God. The thing is it's less about training. Well, I mean, obviously it's about training doctors, but it's more about you have to be your own advocate.
Yeah, and we always say that.
You have to be aggressive about it. If you don't like something,
change. That's our
if you don't like something, get it taken off. Demand to have it taken off. Don't rely on the doctor. So you know, there's a little bit of accountability on you too. If something's changing, something new is popping up, you have to
because you're the only one who's going to know if it changes.
You're not. Yeah.
You see your skin every day. The doctor sees like 1,000 patients a day. Yeah. And they're going to be like,
that's
well,
a lot of
and this
patients.
I can't.
I'm not sure if they see.
And I heard this the first few times when I started going, and I'm like, well. They would say, well, let's take a picture of it, and they would measure it.
Yeah, and then they look at it
and then
the
they would
next
be like,
time.
okay, come back in 3 months. And I'm like, no, I don't want to wait 3 months and take a picture of it. Let's watch it grow.
Like, laugh it off.
Take it off now. You know, but again, I know that that's what a lot of them would say because they haven't seen it. Right. And you may not be totally in tune with the fact that I'm not sure if it's changed. So then they're like, well, let's just see. Because in the first couple of weeks, you'll see if there's anything changing.
Absolutely.
But that's where we feel that it's a huge, huge importance to check yourself. You go into the shower, you know, you're putting your soap on, know what's on your body. It's like, oh, I noticed something.
You know.
I have something.
Oh boy, Debbie's getting.
Remember, I was telling you about it last week, and I'm like, oh, I just came to the dermatologist, and I didn't have that before, and and now it like doubled in size, and I'm like,
just get it off.
Freaking out. So I'm So that, but at least I know what's popping on my body. I know what's changing, and that's what we're encouraging people to do. Yes, the doctor should know more. Yes, you know. It is true, and I'm sorry, Sally, if you feel bad. We are all imperfect. We all are all human. Right. But we can't rely on physicians to take care of a dermatologist's job. Right. We can't rely on a plumber to do the electrician. Right. So I know you're upset, and I feel so sorry for your friend because that's awful. She was 48 years old. That's terrible. And our best, and her name was Deb. So our sweet memory to her, and knowing that because of what she went through, we will not be in vain. It'll be our personal fight to make sure that people are more of an advocate. We can't do anything about the doctors. Right. But we can do things about you. Yep. And we can help you change and have you change them. And like that chiropractor in Ontario, his mission, there are certain people out there who are trying to make a change in the doctor world.
There's plenty of physicians out there that
again,
are
it's
taking
that voice.
serious
It's definitely
well,
that voice.
So.
But the other one is really, really nice. I'm going to just say it really quick from a woman, Diane. She says she recently watched our program, and she goes, she loves how how this was created, and how to educate people for melanoma. She recently became an esthetician and was training at the Bio Academy in Northampton. Nice. And she would love to assist in every effort that she can, you know, to our show and to helping educate people, because she thinks this is the most, educational thing out there. So we thank you for Diane, and thank you again, Sally, and just hang strong, and give us some more emails and some questions. But there was one from California. It's up your alley, and it might fall into your.
Oh yes, okay. I am looking for a product, glowing cream, moisturizer. Their prices, and how can I purchase these products if I live in California? So I think this person is maybe looking for sunless tanning products.
Yes. Earlier in that email, she did, and because she watched our show, and because we always have the great tips of the week. Yeah. That she felt like that maybe there's a way that we.
Well, you can order any of the products that I recommend, generally speaking, online. Actually, if you go, if you look on the Sephora website. They have my favorite sunless tanner, which is Saint Tropez. Comes with a glove. Make sure you get the glove because it can dye your hands. But it's definitely my favorite product. And you can always go online and actually Google I hate to say Google it, but you can go online and
I
Google
only tease about that,
sunless
but you
tanning.
do find everything that way.
Exactly, sunless tanning coupons, and they have discounts on all sorts of products. But my tip of the week is actually to go, you know how we all want to have the glow, but we don't want to have the damage. So my tip is if you go into the mall, any of these department stores, and you go to some of the cosmetic, speaking of esthetician, cosmetic areas, you can actually get free makeovers, and they'll tell you what product you want to use, what color palette you're using, all of that to help match your skin tone. So that's a really great way to kind of realize, you know, some people use the wrong color eyeshadow, the wrong eyeliner,
and then that enhances their
natural
lighter
complexion.
Well, in good and bad. If you're saying that if they wear certain colors that don't complement them, then it's going to enhance their lighter skin.
Exactly.
But if they're wearing, and that's what which we really do need to do another fashion show.
Yeah.
But it's instead of fighting against your skin, your God-given skin,
there's palettes
work
for everyone.
with it.
Yeah.
Right. So wearing the right colors on your face and on your body will only enhance the beauty and the naturalness of your skin, and that's what we talked about with Karen. So
definitely,
you know, that's how the stars do it. So
yeah, exactly.
Why not follow?
Exactly. So that's my tip.
Okay. Well, I thank you so much.
And that's our show.
Yes, this was a great show. Unfortunately, someone every hour dies of melanoma. Don't let that happen to someone you know. Keep watching our show. Get educated.
And if you would like an overview of today's show, or to share your story, gain more tips, have questions, or want to find out when Skin Talk will be airing next, you can visit us at skintalk.org or email us at info@skintalk.org.